WWE Clash of Champions is this Sunday. The show takes place in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Spectrum Center. And just because the show is in his hometown, that does not mean I expect to see Ric Flair on this show. We're obviously going to see his daughter on the show, Charlotte, but everything that's going on with the whole man controversy, it's ridiculous. So I don't expect to see Flair here. We might, you never know, but I wouldn't count on it. Looking at this card, you have a solid show. You have a lot of matches that can be really good. I'm looking forward to Becky and Sasha probably the most. I'm also really looking forward to watching Bayley and Charlotte. That should be really good. I think both women's matches, both the main title matches should be great. And even the women's tag match, that can actually be decent. It could be decent if you give them a chance. You never know. You have a really good card. I think this card's better than SummerSlam. I kind of wish they would have went with this instead of SummerSlam. And I guess because it's the fall, it's closer to the Fox debut and, of course, NXT's debut. And so they want more momentum, so it makes sense to load up the September show rather than the August show. So I understand. But they have a good card. This should be a very good show, in my opinion. I really don't see a weak match. So let's start with the match. I hope it's on the pre-show so I can skip it. That's a Cruiserweight title match. Gulak against Humberto, Carrillo, and Lince Dorado. I'm going to go with Gulak to retain. All right. Now the main show, or the matches that really matter. So I expect this to start the show because I expect him to end the show. The same two guys, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, defend the Raw Tag Team Championships against Roode and Dolph Ziggler. New champions. I think Roode and Ziggler win. I think Braun and Seth get into an argument. One of them makes a mistake. I'm going to say Seth gets in. I don't think they're going to pin Braun here. Braun does something to Seth. Maybe he accidentally does a running slam into him, or he accidentally hurts Seth. And what happens is Roode and Gable take advantage and they win the title. Roode and Ziggler take advantage and they win the tag team title. So I'm going with new champions. And they didn't have much of a conflict on Raw, but it's going to start here. The conflict starts here and it's going to bleed over to the main event. So new Raw champs, Ziggler and Roode win the titles. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. A New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods against the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. So this is interesting. I don't know what's going on with the Revival, if they're going to stay. There's just been conflicting reports on it. It's really crazy. There's some people think they're gone for sure, and WWE's been keeping a lot of guys. You never know. I still think it doesn't matter. I think the New Day is going to retain the titles. I think Kofi and the New Day are going to go into SmackDown on Fox, the first debut show, all as champions. And I think they're all going to keep their belts. I'll get to that later. I skipped one of my predictions. But New Day wins. They beat the Revival. I don't think there's much to the Revival anymore. Next, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the champions, against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So this is a very interesting match. They can go both ways here. Alexa and Nikki won the titles in August. They have only been champions for about 6 weeks. I know Sasha and Bayley, when they won the titles, they were only champions briefly. They had it not even a couple months. So they could switch them. What they did on SmackDown was having Nikki Cross destroy Mandy Rose. That could be an omen. Maybe they're doing the title change. That's usually what they do here. It's a tough match to predict. I don't know. They're giving so much TV time to Alexa and Nikki. It makes me think they're going to keep it, so I'm going to pick them. I'm picking Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They love Alexa Bliss. She's a great champion. Even though she might not be, she's so small, it's hard to take her seriously sometimes. She's really got on the mic. She looks amazing. She's smoking hot. And she does a lot for the company. She does a lot of interviews. She's very likable. She's a good person to have the belt on, so I think we're going to keep it on them for Alexa. As for Mandy and Sonya, I don't know what they're doing with them. They teased a lesbian storyline a couple months ago on SmackDown. They didn't go through with it. They could do that on Fox, I guess, to, get more people talking to me on a major network. I don't know what they're doing with them. I think they're going to lose here. I think Alexa and Nikki are keeping the belt. Mandy Rose has been complaining a bit on Twitter. She's not leaving or anything, but I think Alexa and Nikki definitely hold the belt here and retain the women's tag titles here. Could go with an upset, but I think they win. And Crown Championship, Miz against Nakamura. I'm going to go with The Miz. The Miz wins the title. Nakamura sucks as champion. WWE run's been a total, complete, utter fucking disaster. Miz wins. I don't care about this match. United States Championship, AJ Styles against Cedric Alexander. I was considering picking Cedric. I was very close. I'm going to go with AJ because I think this is going to continue for a bit. I think they're going to drag this out for a while. I was very tempted to go with Cedric, though, because they're really getting the gas behind him. I think he's going to give AJ a battle here. They're going to have a good match. AJ's been lacking on the pay-per-views as of late. I can't remember the last great AJ Styles match I've seen on a pay-per-view or even on TV, to be honest. He just hasn't been doing good. I mean, he's old. He's in his mid-40s now. I mean, he's probably slowing down, and that's just how it is. It's father time. I think that's the story with AJ Styles because he's not the same guy he once was. He's not having those great matches that we all knew and love, that we all grew to know and love him for. So he's slowing down. I think he's going to retain. I think he's going to beat Cedric Alexander. I think the club will interfere and help him. But you'll probably see the War Raiders come out. I think this feud continues, and I think eventually Cedric Alexander is going to beat AJ Styles and get the United States Championship. But I think on this show, AJ's keeping the belt. Next, no holds barred match, Roman Reigns and Erick Rowan. I like no holds barred matches. They're fun to watch. They've been having a good feud. Last couple weeks have been good. Rowan's been looking like a complete badass. It makes you kind of think maybe they should go with Rowan here. They should consider it. The thing is, Roman Reigns is their top guy. He's the big dog. If they have Erick Rowan win, what's the next pay-per-view? They just had a no holds barred. Hell in a Cell. They can do a Hell in a Cell match and Roman gets his redemption. So you could do that. You can immediately pay it off in a Hell in a Cell and you can build it up if they really want to get behind Roman. They could do that. My guess is Roman Reigns. Let's look at him. The top star in the company, Vince's guy, overcame leukemia. WWE is going to Fox in a few weeks. This is everything. Fox is everything. There's so much money in it. They're going to want the ratings up. My guess is Erick Rowan is not a big enough name to have Roman Reigns feud with on the first SmackDown show. I'm going to assume they're going to go with someone else. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. They could stick with Rowan. You never know. He has momentum. But my thoughts are they're going to go with someone else, a higher profile name for Roman Reigns to feud with. I think WWE does not want to. They do look at Erick Rowan as less than Roman Reigns. I think everyone does. Nothing obvious, but Rowan's been doing great. He's had a great 2 weeks on SmackDown. 2 weeks ago, he cut a damn good promo. This is the best he's ever looked in his whole career. It's going to end here. Roman Reigns is winning. Daniel Bryan will get involved somehow. He'll probably make a run in. But I think Roman Reigns pins Erick Rowan in this match. Could be wrong, but I think Roman's winning. Next, the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defends her title against Charlotte Flair. So they had Charlotte pin Bayley on Raw when they had the women's tag match with Charlotte and Becky against Sasha and Bayley. Charlotte pins Bayley cleanly, and that's one sign. Okay, when if you pin someone cleanly, you're going to lose on the pay-per-view. The second sign, it's your hometown. So it's Charlotte's hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. Wonder who's going to win. Charlotte's the face, practically, even though she'll get cheered here. Makes sense, actually. I think Bayley's for sure getting booed at Charlotte's hometown. I don't know if we're going to see Flair, but Charlotte's definitely a better heel. As to how this match goes, I think Bayley's going to win cleanly. I think they're getting behind her. She is a heel now. She's going to beat Charlotte in this match. Charlotte is in an interesting position. I think she's eventually going to get the belt, probably at WrestleMania or something. She'll get it back, and she'll break her father's record now for sure, just to spite him if they can do that. Charlotte's definitely going to get another major push again. It's only a matter of when. The match they have here will probably be very good. Those two are very talented. They can have really good matches together. Charlotte was a bit sloppy on Raw. Bayley's had some off matches too, but when they're really working together, they can have a great match here. I'm sure they're going to have a competition with Becky and Sasha of who's going to outdo each other. All four of them are going to work their asses off on Sunday. I think there's probably contest who they both want to have the better match, both of them, all four of them. So. Probably be very good. Bayley's keeping the belt here. I think she's going to beat Charlotte, and we'll see what's next for Charlotte. I think Bayley definitely wins. Raw Women's Championship. I think probably one of the most anticipated matches of the night. Becky Lynch defends her championship against the boss, Sasha Banks. Who wins? This is the hardest match to predict. One of them. I was originally going to go with a DQ, double count out. That could happen. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever if that happens. I wouldn't really mind it because this feud didn't continue. This is a long-term feud. This is going to be what Becky and Charlotte was last year. Becky and Charlotte feuded all throughout the fall. They had a great feud, one of the best feuds of the year. It was damn good. It had a classic last women's championship match, had an Evolution. I wish they would do that again, do another Evolution show. But this is going to be this year's version of that. This is going to be a long feud. They're going to feud from now till October, till when they get on Fox, if they're on SmackDown together. Oh, probably not. They'll still be on Raw, actually. This is going to be a long, drawn-out feud. Who is going to win? Well, there's so many different ways to look at this. They could go with Sasha. Something tells me, though, Sasha is staying or is going to SmackDown when they do the draft. Her hair's blue. She's always wanted to be on SmackDown. I think Sasha's going to go to SmackDown. She could lose to Becky here. But you just had a return. You really want to beat Sasha Banks this quickly? She's the most she's had in Lince, and probably since she's been on the main roster. Easily since her boss days in NXT. Do you really want to beat Sasha Banks? I don't think it's a good idea. Do you want to beat Becky? This is her WrestleMania reign. She's been champion since WrestleMania. Are you going to take the ball off her now? It's fine. I mean, it's been a few months. It's very tough to pick this match. Who is going to win? Wow. Oh, man, this is tough. I'm predicting Sasha Banks wins the title from Becky Lynch. Could be wrong. I almost picked Becky. I almost picked no contest. I don't know. I have like a 1% confident, 1 out of 10 on my scale of confidence for that. My gut tells me Sasha. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I remember this event last year. Becky beat Charlotte, and no one was expecting her to win the belt. I'm going to give it to Sasha. I could be wrong here. I'm saying Sasha wins. They'll have a great match. They're going to beat each other up. They're both going to work really hard. And as I said, Bayley and Charlotte, I'm sure they're both going to have a competition of who can have the best match. This should be a WrestleMania. I'd like to see a 4-horsewoman Fatal 4-Way match for WrestleMania. That's the one match I'm looking forward to for WrestleMania next year. You hear it, Vince? Give us Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, Fatal 4-Way. That's what we should get. You can make it a main event if they want to do that again. Probably not, but going back to this match, I'm going to get Sasha to win the belt. WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston against Randy Orton. I'm going to be honest, I don't give a shit. I fell asleep during the SummerSlam match. I woke up for Seth and Brock, but I fell asleep. I don't give a shit about this match. Kofi wins, that's it. I don't care. Universal Championship, the main events of the evening. Seth Rollins defends his title against Braun Strowman. Who is going to win? I cannot see any way, shape, or form Braun Strowman pinning Seth Rollins. I see Seth Rollins defeating Braun Strowman cleanly. So Braun, going back to the opening match, I'm predicting Braun to mess the match up for Seth and to do something to hurt Seth or do a slam into him and mess up, and Seth is going to get pinned. So Seth's getting pinned. That means he's retaining over Braun. He's losing his Raw Tag Team Championship, and he's getting pinned, but he's going to get his win back, so it protects him, and Braun is losing in the main event. He gets his loss in the main event. They'll probably have a decent match. They could work together well. Seth can work with big guys. I'm going to go with Braun Strowman to retain the title here. Or Seth Rollins to retain the Universal title here. I can't see Strowman winning. I just do not see it. So after the match, Seth wins. He celebrates. Then The Fiend comes and attacks Seth Rollins. So I'm saying he wins the title, but the show ends with The Fiend attacking Rollins. This sets up Seth Rollins against The Fiend at Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship. That's how the show ends, and that's my predictions for Clash of Champions. Hopefully you get a great show this Sunday. Has a good card. It should deliver.